Chris, what is our third main topic today?
Man, it's all Netflix all the time today.
All Netflix today.
Woo! Box office fan wrote in saying, so we got a little more on the ad version of Netflix, and sounds like not everything on the app will be in the ad version. So how will this affect the ad version start sales? What movies and shows do you think they'll remove for the ad version?
All right, thanks for sending that in, Box Office Fan. Now, when a streaming service, let's say like Hulu, they have an ad-free version tier. I pay for the ad-free version tier of Hulu. I love Hulu. I still think it might be my favorite streaming service that I use right now. But here's the thing. Even on their ad-free, there are a couple of shows that when I go to hit play on, it says, due to streaming rights, this episode will play with an ad before and after the presentation. And then they'll start the show with a commercial, have no commercials during the show, and then at the end, add on another commercial. It doesn't really bother me. My viewing experience of the show never gets interrupted. That's kind of the main key thing here. Now, I tell you that because I want you to take that little bit of information, file it away, and keep it there for a second as we talk about this story now. Now, of course, as we've already mentioned on the show today, Netflix is introducing a ad-supported tier that will be cheaper for you to pay for per month, but there will be ads. Hopefully not a lot, because you are still paying for the service, but they're going to be introducing ads, and that's going to become a new revenue stream for them. However, it looks like if you get that tier, you're not going to have access to everything on Netflix. It's also going to be tiered content. But is it going to be serious? Maybe not. This comes just from the folks at MSN Business who write the following. Today, the vast majority of what people watch on Netflix, we can include in the ad-supported tier, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sandros said. There are some things that don't, that we're in conversation about with the studios on, but if we launch the product today, the members in the ad tier would have a great experience. We will clear some additional content, but certainly not all of it, but we don't think it's a material holdback to the business, and that comes to us from the CEO over at Netflix. Okay, now before everybody starts running around yelling the sky is falling, number one, this will not mean any Netflix original won't be on their content, right? Like any Stranger Things, The Gray Man, The Crown, all Netflix original stuff will also be on the ad-supported tier. Remember I told you about how Hulu had to play a couple commercials? This is where that comes in. This is not a Netflix issue. This is a licensing issue because there are some non-Netflix shows that are cataloged on Netflix where their streaming rights are specific to the type of streaming Netflix does and does not cover ad-supported. Not many of them, but there are going to be a few shows that will say that's not in our license. Or we don't have an agreement yet. Let's say Rob makes the show called, Pickle My Foot. I don't know why. I don't know what that show's about. But
Ooh.
Rob has a show called Pickle My Foot.
Directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Written by Quentin Tarantino.
Fresh off of Fantastic Four.
So, Rob, and I have a streaming service called John Campea Plus Max. All right. So, and Pickle My Foot, he played it on TBS years ago, and now it lives on John Campea Plus Max. And I decide to launch an ad-supported tier of it. Well, Rob's now going to come to me and say, well, wait a minute. How much of a cut of those ads am I going to get?
Yeah.
Because we never discussed that. We never negotiated that. The license you have right now for my masterpiece, Pickle My Foot, does not cover you playing ads and how much of those ads I get. Therefore, you cannot put Pickle My Foot on your ad-supported tier. That's what this is. This isn't Netflix, and I don't want to pretend like I'm a Netflix apologist, but this isn't Netflix saying, we're going to keep some of our content back from those lowly ad tier supported. No. What this is that they're going to have to work out a lot of agreements and details, and they're not going to be able to have everything on there, but that's going to be the content owner's responsibility, not really Netflix. Anyway, Rob, you're seeing this situation. What do you make of it?
Well, first of all, Pickle My Foot's a great show, so I'm happy to see it's coming back.
Daniel Day-Lewis is great in it.
Amazing.
Oh my
amazing.
gosh.
But no, I think you just said it exactly right. I mean, there are deals in place. It ain't show friends, it's show business. And there are business deals in place and things we have to take into consideration that they're beyond, they have to be addressed. Just like, licensing agreements are tough. Licensing agreements are finite. I mean, let's not forget, 2019, Netflix paid $100 million to run Friends, an old TV show, for a year.
For 1 year.
$100 million. Boys got to get paid. They got paid that year. I mean,
Got
so
'em.
the girls, the friends got paid. I mean, and that's why you make content. Content ain't free. So,
Chris, what's your takeaway from this?
I'm in agreement with you guys, but I am glad we're explaining it because so many people are going to have this reaction of, well, that's not fair and I want to watch my shows. Why don't you want my money? It's going to be ridiculous. So I hope
By the
there's
way, this
something.
sounds like Butters.
Oh, well, yeah, he's doing lots of Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and he hopes all that's on there. It'll be real nice. I hope there is some kind of release or disclaimer or something that does explain how the tiers work and why that isn't there. I'm sure people are still going to stay mad, and you can stay mad. That's fine. But that's how the business of this works. So if you want access to everything, you're going to have to pay the money for it. And this is something that I budget for. Obviously, it's a nice little tax write-off since we do this as our jobs. But, if I want to see all of these shows, I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah. And again, Stranger Things season 5 will be on there.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like William Shatner's Unexplained Mysteries may not. Right.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Take my money.
and he'll make sure he gets paid.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
And Shat will make sure he gets paid. Anyway, guys, questions for you. Oh, Ray had something.
No. I just wanted to point out. Do you guys like the timer on the ads?
Yes.
Like, if it's really long, I hate it. Like it's like.
But
3
I like
minutes.
to know
Yeah.
it's going to be long.
I can plan out
Okay.
my time.
And
Me too.
the shows that disable fast forward, does that have to do with ads? Because that's probably my only thing that I don't like.
Well,
where
here's
you
what
can't fast
Hulu
forward.
does. Hulu has a pretty interesting way of stopping you from trying to skip by their ads. Like when I paid for Hulu ads, if you try to fast forward, so you can see on the timeline, which is pretty cool. On the timeline, it shows where there's going to be an ad spot, right? And if you try to fast forward the show past that timeline, that's fine. But once you hit play, it's going to go back and play those ads you try to skip, and then it'll go to the place that you're at. I personally like the countdown clock, because like Chris was saying,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, if it's going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I know I can run to the bathroom.
Exactly.
If it's a 15-second spot, just get settled. And
It's just like
I kinda
Jonathan
like
telling
that.
us how long we have on our ad breaks. Okay, I can go get another drink. I can go do this.
Yes, exactly.
I just hope that one of the things I can't stand about these ad tiers or whatever is getting the same commercial 4 times. in an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah.
I
that too.
know, but it's been getting better. I haven't noticed that as much lately.
I mean, it gets to the point where it the funny thing is, it's a dichotomy, John. I hate these ads, yet I recite them. I can do the whole script.
Yeah,
What does
that's
that
the point
mean?
of them. It's there's patterns to them so that they're part of your brain, and so you have brand recognition, and then they become part of the zeitgeist.
They should know that you bought the product, and then they'll stop playing the ad.
Yeah.
Well, that's what our sponsors do.
Yeah,
They know.
I mean, I remember once there was an eHarmony ad that literally played 4 times in a row. And I remember by the end of the 3rd time, I was like, I don't know this man and this woman, but I hope their relationship fails. I hope
hate
they have
them.
I hope it leads them both to a terrible dark place where they don't have another relationship for 10 years. I went to a dark place, guys. I went to a dark place.
See, what happens then is I turn to Elizabeth and I'm like, I'm joining.
I just see it and go, wow, we've gone in a very different direction where we use models instead of Chris Carr.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you make of this? Do you understand the idea why when there's the pay tiers, there's going to be probably some stuff that isn't on there, but that really won't be Netflix's fault. Whatever you guys feel about that, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of today's video, Storyblocks. Guys, I have been an enthusiastic fan and user of Storyblocks for years. I go to them whenever I'm in need of content creation assets like royalty-free music, video clips, or templates for my creative projects, ranging anywhere from little editorial videos to my very own full-feature documentary. Storyblocks helps you bring your stories, videos, and projects to life without sacrifices due to time, budget, or access to resources. They have over 1 million different story assets ranging from stock videos, audio and music, an in-browser video editor, and they feature pre-designed templates, animations, and outros. Storyblocks uses an affordable subscription model, and their unlimited access plans offers, well, unlimited video and audio downloads rather than a costly pay-per-clip model. With Storyblocks, you'll be able to create more content and, more importantly, better content, all while using a subscription plan that fits your budget, utilizing unlimited downloads of demand-driven and diverse content. So if you're interested in upping your content creation game, head over to www.storyblocks.com storyblocks.com/Campea and get started today. That's www.storyblocks.com/Campea.